Hey guys, my name is Crazy Penguin, and welcome to the first FPS history breakdown. In this series, we're going to be covering some of the most iconic FPS franchises in history, starting with Activision's monster, the Call of Duty franchise. From endless hours of fun with online multiplayer to the rage-induced, controller-throwing frenzy brought on by the corner campers and the noob tubers, this franchise has achieved what others can only try to mimic. So, let's get started. If we're going to talk about the franchise as a whole, then we need to start at the beginning. Call of Duty. Just plain Call of Duty. The newly formed Infinity Ward had grand ideas of immersion that their previous employer just wasn't ready to embrace. So they set out to create their own franchise. In 2003, the first Call of Duty was released for the PC. Infinity Ward tried some neat things, like recording bullet sounds at different distances, interviewing World War II veterans to make the game more authentic, and adding more scripted elements. They even went so far as to add moments where you couldn't even play the game. The end result was amazing. Call of Duty helped propel the World War II shooter craze that flooded the market while winning Game of the Year for 2003, Computer Game of the Year, and Computer First-Person Action Game of the Year. But if there was one drawback to the success of Call of Duty, it's that it was a PC-only title. With the launch of Microsoft's new console, the Xbox 360, came a launch title by the name of Call of Duty 2. After the success of the first Call of Duty, it should be no surprise at this point that there was no stopping them. Call of Duty 2, actually from this point on we're going to call it COD. COD 2 was a massive success. It quickly became one of the top 20 most sold games of the year on a brand new system that had a far smaller user base than any other console at the time. The game had some neat new features to brag about, like the doing away of health packs for the health regeneration system that every COD has had since, not to mention the gigantic leap in graphics thanks to the new hardware of the 360. After a rocky start, COD 2's multiplayer became the most played game on Xbox Live. The simple 4v4 gun-on-gun action where skill was the biggest factor had such a huge appeal that it took over a year for anyone to pass them, which I'm sure made the choice to turn this game into a one-game-per-year franchise just that much easier. Activision realized what they had going on and wanted to capitalize on it. Infinity Ward was under pressure to make a game every 2 years, so now enters Treyarch, who had made some of the other COD spin-offs. Activision owning Infinity Ward and all of their properties could simply allow someone else to use them, so Treyarch was brought on to make a COD title every alternate year. COD 3 was the only main COD title not to be released for the PC. It was even released for the last generation PlayStation 2 and Xbox. The game was only in development for 8 months and it showed. In the end, it couldn't stack up to the success of Infinity Ward's polished games. Doing well enough for what it was, it simply couldn't shine in a market saturated with World War II shooters that the previous games helped spawn. Fast forward a year and you have the infamous Modern Warfare. Getting away from the World War II shooter scene, Infinity Ward renewed interest into the FPS genre by making the most dramatic change the COD franchise had yet to see. The shift into modern day conflicts changed everything. Also, after the success of COD 2's multiplayer, they doubled the size of their development team and then divided them by two. One team working on the single player game and the other on the multiplayer game. Just 2 months after the monster Halo 3, COD 4 was released, and with the help of killstreaks, creative class, and perks, it didn't take long to pass Halo 3 as the most played game on Xbox Live. COD 4 became the best-selling FPS title ever, and an instant classic in the minds of many. To this day, most COD veterans consider it to be the best Call of Duty game ever created. Anyway guys, that's going to do it for this video. Thanks for watching, I hope you learned something. Stay tuned for next week when I cover the remainder of the Call of Duty franchise, including the yet-to-be-released Call of Duty Black Ops 2. As always, you can click on any of the annotations you see on your screen, click out, see any one of our videos. You can subscribe in the top left, you can find any of the links you might need in the description, and also if you could leave me a comment letting me know what you liked about this series and future franchises that you might like to see from me, I'd very much appreciate it. See you in the next video, guys.